बोलिए सतगुरु कबीर साहिब की जय। सत्यलोक से उतरे करता पुरुष कबीर, ओ सत्यलोक से उतरे करता पुरुष कबीर। जलमान धन धन किए सब पीरों के पीर, जलमान धन पौधन किए सब पीरों के पीर। सत्य नाम सत्सुकृत आदि अदली अजर अचिंत पुरुष मुनिंदर करुणामय कबीर। सुरति योग संतायन धनी धर्मदास चुरामणि नाम सुदर्शन नाम कुलपति नाम प्रमोद गुरु बाला पेर नाम केवल नाम अमोल नाम सुरत स्नेही नाम हक नाम पाक नाम प्रगत नाम धीरज नाम उग्र नाम दया नाम गंधमणि नाम प्रकाश मणि नाम उर्त नाम मुकुंद मणि नाम पंच श्री हजूर अर्ध नाम चार गुरु बंस 42 की दया। सब विधि मुझे मंगल करनम हरन से सकले। सत्य नाम सम नाम नहीं वरदायक वर दे। गुरु के सुमिरन मंत्र से नाशत विघ्नयनन। तासे सर्वारंभ में ध्यावत है सब संत। बंदो चरण सरोज गुरु मुझे मंगल आगान। जेहि सेवत नर होत है भव सागर के पार। लगन करते ना मेरे भाई गुरु से, लगन करते ना मेरे भाई साधु। लगन करते ना मेरे भाई गुरु से, लगन करते ना मेरे भाई। लगन लगे बिनु काज न सरी है, जीव पर लय करे जाई गुरु से। लगन करते न मेरे भाई साधु। लगन करते न
मेरे भाई गुरु से, लगन करते न मेरे भाई।
मेरे गानार शब्द का भेरी, शब्द सुनने को जाई। सोई शब्द सुनी प्राण देते है, तनि को न मन में धराई गुरु से। लगन करते न मेरे भाई साधु। लगन करते न मेरे भाई गुरु से, लगन करते न मेरे भाई। तजी धन्य धाम सती होई निकसी, सत्य करने को जाई। पावक दे की डरे नहीं मन में, कूरी परे शरमाही गुरु से। लगन करते न मेरे भाई साधु। लगन करते न मेरे भाई गुरु से, लगन करते न मेरे भाई। स्वाति बुंदलिए रत तप पिहरा, पिया पिया रत लाई। प्यासे प्राण जाए क्यों ना बही, और नीर नहीं भाई गुरु से। लगन कटे न मेरे भाई, साधु लगन कटे न मेरे भाई, गुरु से लगन कटे न मेरे भाई। दो दलयानी जुरे जब सन्मुख, शूरा ले टलराई, टूक टूक होई गिरे धरनी पे, खेत चार नहीं जाई, गुरु से लगन कटे न मेरे भाई, साधु लगन कटे न मेरे भाई, गुरु से लगन कटे न मेरे भाई। छारो अपने तन की आशा, निर्भय होए गुण गाई, कहई कबीर ऐसी लव लावे, सहज मिले गुरु आई, गुरु से लगन कटे न मेरे भाई, साधु लगन कटे न मेरे भाई, गुरु से लगन कटे न मेरे भाई। सब धरती कागज करो, लिखने सब बन रहा, सात समुद्र की मसी करो, गुरु गुना लिखा न जान। सायं संध्या। गुरु को कीजे बंदगी, कोटि कोटि प्रणाम, कितना जाने भृंग को, गुरु कर ले आप समान। गुरु मूर्ति गति चंद्रमा, सेवक नयन चकोर, अष्टपहर निरखत रहु, गुरु मूर्ति की ओर। गुरु बसे बनारसी, शेष समुंदर तीर, बिसरा रे बिसरे नहीं, जो गुण हो ये शरीर। लक्ष्य कोश में गुरु बसे, सुरती दियो पताय, शब्द तुरी असवार हुए, पलयावे छिन जाय। निर्विकार निर्भय तू ही, और सकल भय माही। सब पर तेरी साहिबी, तुम पर साहिब नाही। संध्या सुमिरन आरती, भजन भरोसे दास। मनसा वाचा कर मना, जब लग घट में श्वास। श्वास श्वास में नाम ले, वृथा श्वास मति खोए। ना जाने यहाँ श्वास को, आवन होय ना होय। श्वासा की कर सुमेरनी, करे अजपा को जा। परम तत्व का ध्यान धर, सोहम या पोया। सोहम पोया पवन में, बांधो सुरत सुमेर। ब्रह्म गात हृदय धरो, इस विधि माला फेर। माला श्वास श्वास की, फेरेंगे कोई डांस। 84 भर में नहीं, कटे काल की फांस। सांझ परे दिन यात वे, चकवी नारोय। चल चकवा तहाँ जाइए, जहाँ रैन दिवस नहीं होय। रैन की बिछुरी चाकवी, आन मिली पर भान। जो जन बिछुरे नाम सो, दिवस मिले नहीं राम। सतगुरु मोहिनी बाजिया, दीन्हा अमर मूल। शीतल शब्द कबीर का, हंसा करे किलो। हंसा तुम जनि धरती हो, कर मेरी परती। अमर लोक पहुँचाई हो, चलो सो भव जल जी। भव जल में बहु का गहे, कोई कोई हंसा हमार। कहे कबीर धर्मदास सो, खेव उतारो पार। विनवत हो कर जोर के, सुन गुरु कृपा निधान। संतन को सुख दीजिए, दया गरीबी ज्ञान। दया गरीबी बंदगी, समताशील करार। इतने लक्षण साधु के, कहे कबीर विचार। धनियों पर धर्मदास है, सत्य नाम कीते। रहता पुरुष कबीर है, चलता है सब भी। भेष बराबर हो रहे, भेर बराबर नाही। तौल बराबर गूंगची, मोल बराबर नाही। केवल नाम केवल गुरु, बाला पीर कबीर। तारे हंस बिनती करे, दर्शन देहु कबीर। आनन मंगल आरती, सतगुरु सत्य कबीर। जम के फंदा काट के, हंस लगावे तीर। जम के फंदा काट के, हंस लगावे तीर। आरती। ज्ञाने आरती अमृत बानी, पूर्ण ब्रह्म लेहु पहचानी। जाके हुक्म पवन और पानी, वाके गति कोई बिरले जानी। त्रिदेवा मिल ज्योति बकानी, निराकार की अकट कहानी। यही आशा सब हिल मिल ठानी, भरम भरम भटके नर प्राणी। दृष्टि बिना दुनिया बौरानी, साहिब चोर यम हाथ बिकानी। सकल सृष्टि हम ही उत्पानी, शील संतोष दया की खानी। सुख सागर में करो स्नान, निर्भय पावो पर निर्वाण। कहे कबीर सोई संत सुजाना, जिन जिन शब्द हमारो माना। कहे कबीर सोई संत सुजाना, जिन जिन शब्द हमारो माना। ज्ञान स्रोत। कबीर सत्य सत्य के नाम से, सत्य सागर भरा। सत्य का नाम तिहु लोक छाजा। संत जन आरती करे, प्रेम तारी धरे। ढोल निशान मृदंग बाजा, भक्ति साची किया, नाम निश्चय लिया। शून्य के शिखर ब्रह्मांड गाजा। सत्य कबीर सर्वज्ञ साहिब मिले, भजो सत्य नाम क्या रंग राजा। हम दीन दुनी दरवेशा, हम किया सकल परवेशा, हम दुआ सलामत लेका, हम शब्द स्वरूपी फेंका, हम रूंद मूंद में फेरा, हम फाका पिकर पकेरा, हम रमे कौन की नाव, हम चले कौन की छाव, हम सर्वगी सहजे रमे, हम रावार न पार, वार भी हम ही पार भी हम ही, नाना दरिया तीर, सकल निरंतर हम रमे, हम गहरे गंभीर, खालिक खलक खलक के माही, यो गुरु कहे कबीर। सत्य नाम की आरती, निर्मल भैया शरीर, धर्म दास लोके गई, गुरु बेहिया मिले कबीर। धर्म दास लोके गए, छोरी सकल संसार, हंसन पार उतारही, गुरु धर्म दास परिवार। सत्य सुकृत लौलीन है, ज्ञान ध्यान में स्थिर, अजावन वहाँ पुरुष है, सोग ही लागोती। सत्य सत्य का भया प्रकाश, जरा मरण की छूटी आशा, शब्द न बिन से देहि, कहे कबीर हम शब्द स्नेहि। पांच तत्व तीन गुण पीले, रमता रहे शब्द सो खेले, कहे कबीर सो हंस हमारा, बहुरी नदी के जम का द्वारा, राहु रे काल पदा दिया, दुर्बल तोर शरीर। सत्य सुकृत के नाव है, खेवे सत्य कबीर। भव भंजन दुख परिहरन, अमर करन शरीर। आदि युगादि आप हो, गुरु चारो योग कबीर। आदि युगादि आप हो, गुरु चारो योग कबीर। विज्ञान स्रोत। अति लौलीन चिन्हन्ते ज्ञानी, शब्द स्वरूपी सुनया काशे बानी। बिना देह साहिब निरालंब जानी, जाने जनावे कहाँ वे न देवा। ऐसा तत्व पूजे पूजावे, लगावे न सेवा। सरा ध्याने धारिया कंडो निराशा, सुधा सिंधु पीवे ना जावे पियासा। परम धाम धीरा उदासी अकेला, लौलीन जोगी गुरु ज्ञाना मिला। मिलंता चलंता रहंता या पारी, ऐसा दृष्टि देखो अनंतो विचारी। सरा चेत चेतन चितवंत सूरा, ऐसा ख्याल खेलंत भुजंत पूरा। ज्ञानो न ध्यानो न मानो न तानो, नहीं चंद्र तारा न उगे न भानो। आगे न पीछे न मध्य न कोई, जो का जला ब्रह्म तो तत्व सोई। डालो न मूलो न वृक्षो न छाया, जीवो न शिवो न कालो न काया, दृष्टि न मुष्टि न देवी न देवा, जापो न थापो न पूजा न सेवा, नहीं पवन पानी च चंद्रे न सूरा, अखंडित ब्रह्म सोई सिद्धि पूरा। हम नाही तुम नाही बंदो ना भाई, निराधारे आधारे रंको न राई, गावे न ध्यावे न हिली न हिला, नारी न पुरुषो न खेली न खेला, नहीं पेत पृष्टि न पावो न माथा, जीवो न शिवो न नाथो अनाथ, शेषो महेशो गणेशो न ग्वालम, गोपी न ग्वालम न कंसो न कालम, आसे न पासे न दासे न देवा, आवे न जावे लगावे न सेवा, नहीं वारे पारे न मध्य न तीरा, जो क्या चो तत्व गहरे गंभीरा, जंत्रे न मंत्रे न दर्दे न धोखा, नरके न स्वर्गे न संशय न शोका, सेते न पीते न सब्जे न लालम, गोरे न स्वरबरे न वृद्धे न बालम, वेरा न भेरा न खेरा न कोई, सदा सुरति सोहम एके न दोई, जाने जनावे जनावे न शूरा, उरे न पूरे न नियरे न दूरा, नारे न बिंदे न जिंदे न जीवा, निरंतर ब्रह्म जहाँ शक्ति न शिवा, नहीं जोग जोगी न भोगी न भुक्ता, सचिदानंद साहेब बंदे न मुक्ता, खेले खिलावे खिलावे और खेले, चेते चेतावे चेतावे और चेते, एके दिखावे दिखावे और देखे, एके याने के सोए के, एके याने के सोए के। चित्र विलास। चित्र गुण चित्र विलास, दास सो अंतर नाही, आदि अंत और मध्या, सदा सो ब्रह्म गोसाई, अगह गहन में नाही, गहनी गहिए सो कैसा, सो हम शब्द समान, आदि ब्रह्म जैसे का तैसा, कहे कबीर हम खेले सहज स्वभाव, अकहा अडोल अबोल निरंतर ब्रह्म, सुरति सो हम सोई, खेले खेल खिलावट हम ही, जहाँ के तहाँ रसातल सब ही, का सब ही में है एक समता, ता में आनी बसा एक रमता, वा रमता को लखे जो कोई, ताको आवागवन होई, ओहम सोहम सोई, ओहम कीलक सोहम बाला, सोहम बोले रिसाला, कीलक कमत कमोर कंकवत, ये चारों युग पीर, धर्मदास को शब्द सुनायो, सतगुरु सत्य कबीर, कबीर मिले धर्मदास को, लिख परवाना दी, आदि अंत की वार्ता, यही लोक की छी, गुरुमुख बानी उचरे, शिष्य साच करिमा, यही विधि पंडा छूते हैं, और युक्ति नहीं आन, साधु साधु मुख से कहे, पाप बसम हुए जान। आप कबीर गुरु कहते हैं, साधु सदा सहाय। साधु स्वरूपी गुरु रहे, गुरु स्वरूपिया। मन सा वाचा कर मना, कहे कबीर यसता। बाजाना गया परती, सतगुरु आए भव जल जी। बाजा बाजे साहब के राज, मारा कूटा दगा बाज। हाजिर को हाजूर, काफिल को दूर, हिंदू का गुरु मुसलमान का पीर। सात द्वीप नौ खंड में, सो हम सत्य कबीर। सात द्वीप नौ खंड में, सो हम सत्य कबीर। बोलिए सतगुरु कबीर साहिब की जय।
बोलिए सतगुरु कबीर साहिब की जय। Let's just go ahead as we begin with the opening prayer. O tana thir mana thir bachan thira, surati nirat thira hoi। कहे कबीर तेहि दास को, भला न पकड़े कोई। भला न पकड़े कोई। ध्यायेत सद्गुरं श्वेतरूपलं श्वेतंबरं शोभितं, कर्णे कुंडल शोभामुकुटं हीरामणि मंडितं। नानामाला मुक्तादि शोभितकला परमासने सुशिस्तनं। दया विधिर्सु प्रसन्नं वरनं सद्गुरं तनमामि। द्विपदं द्विभुजं प्रसन्नं वरनं, द्विनेत्रं दयालं शीलिकन्तमातिकलं। श्वेतंबरी मेखला चक्रांकितशिररत्नाखचितं। वैजपंताला बंदगी सद्गुरु योगदन सहितं, कबीरं करुणामयम्। बानी महा अग्र की बानी, तामे योग संतायम ज्ञानी। प्रथम सब सुरती निर्मावा, नामनी अक्षर अनर बतावा। कबीर नामनी अक्षर लीना, अग्रबानी हंसंतो दीना। अग्रबानी अग्रान है, अग्र दजा पकड़ाई। कहे कबीर धर्मदास आदि सब विदेही आए। अमर पुरुष को सुमिरन कीन्हा, सुमिरन भजन जाप कर लीना। सत्य नाम सुमिरो खत माही, धर्म राय की पड़े न चाही। कहे कबीर धर्मदास सत्य नाम निज सार, यहाँ सुमिरन निज सुमिर के, हंसा होई भाव पार। हंसा होई भाव पार। बोलिए सतगुरु कबीर साहिब की जय। Devotees, as I welcome you to Poornima fasting for the month of April, our first day fasting today is Sunday the 25th, and to continue tomorrow on Monday the 26th. You know, it is our duty according to the instructions as given by Sadguru Kabir Sahib that we must all, upkeep this Poornima fast in preparation for us to perform our chauka and arti so that we can attain, the free our pathway to Satlu or heaven. Today, in keeping our fast, there are some of the things, qualities that we must, upkeep to maintain our fast. And Sadhguru Kabir Saheb has outlined, the 5 pillars like honesty, love, obedience, unity, and non-violence. That was prescribed for us, so that we, not only for our fasting day, but for everyday duty to perform, to upkeep. So when you do things and you do it over and over, it becomes a habit or a custom. And this helps you to just, it just makes things automatic for you. So you will just obey and follow those rules, and it becomes easy for you to maintain. Sadhguru Kabir Sahib, he spoke a lot about simplicity and humility. Simplicity is when something is, you can make something simple so that all can understand or all can, follow. Humility is when you do it with that degree of, the Hindi they say bhavna, which is that feelings of true love and devotion. Humility is when someone can make himself as small, as I say, as the ants or as a grain of dust in performing his spiritual journey. They say when you can make yourself as so small that you are prevented from being destroyed by anyone or disturbed by anyone. So nothing, will, you could have the strongest of hurricane or earthquakes or whatever. It would not affect you at all because you have become so small. That in a sense telling us that, on even smaller is that when you can, those who live underground, that they could have the strongest of winds or whatever, earthquakes and so, they are not affected. They are very humble and simple. Today, my topic today is about anger. Anger is something that it is one of the qualities that we must, maintain in our devotion or in our spiritual journey, or as we would say, every day. The practice of every day to be, not to get vexed. Why we should not get vexed is because that is what disturbs our progression in life. It also, disturbs our focus. So first you will have your focus and then your progression. And most importantly, anger disturbs your health. So this is, something that you must be, very serious about, because why? If someone is to get angry, you can see the whole body features changes. They may not talk sensibly. They may not, their actions may be, the body changes, like the eyes may get red and those kind of features that enhance, how angry you are. It's something that is born up into us. And those things cause many things, like your heart rate may go up, okay? Your steps may quicken, if your pace, and all those things, right? So you have to maintain your anger to such a degree, or don't even think about getting angry, sir. No, right? But these things come with a lot of practice. Anger is, it starts with the mind, the chit, then it flows to the word, and then it flows to actions. Just like I was telling you, like all the different, characteristics, just so it is flowed. The same way, all are connected. So, anger or crude in Hindi, the word crude in Hindi is one of those negative forces that causes us to, lose our focus. And then when that happens, things starts to break down. So Sadhguru Kabir Saheb is saying, when it starts from the head, it becomes, it's a mental something. This mental, process that we go through, it is in keeping with what the Lord has for us in this way. He wants us to be in that kind of way. He wants us to be full of stresses, full of all the negative thoughts and words. Because why? That will keep us into the cycle of incarnation. It will keep us in that cycle of birth and death. So this is one of the traps that is set out by Kal Niranjan, the Lord of Time, or the Lord of birth and death. He has said this for us so that, we will not be able to come out of that cycle of birth and death, but resides within it so that we keep going and coming in this world. So anger, is something, is one of the traps that was set. And for someone to get angry, there has to be another. Or it might come directly or indirectly, but if you by yourself, you may never get angry, you may be always, you might be much more focused. But the moment there is more than one, there is a tendency that they can always have, this angry or this, debating qualities that may rise to anger. So Sadhguru Kabir Sahib is saying that when anger is on a mental stage, if you can finish it there, it would not translate into a word. It would not translate itself to a word. And the words, the word could be, very stinging, or very harsh, or very hurtful, and to cause others to get angry also. And then afterward, the word now, it could translate into further, it will go into violence. And this violence could lead to death. So serious this is. So anger is something that we have to control within ourselves, both in thought, words, and deeds. And to practice that, as I say, you have to learn, because what happens? We deal with friendship in this world, right? A lot of friendship. And these friendship, in most instances is because of a friend or someone that or some famous person that you're hearing doing things is the one that you might break your connection with because of anger, because they might have said something, or they might have done something. Well, what is in the mind is mental, so we can hardly recognize that in most instances. But what is in the word, we recognize is those. And those words, are very important. How it is said, because your words you must not say your words to hurt another one. Because when you're in a state, of vexation, what happens is that we keep, it might be something very small here presently, but the vexation make you pull something from your archive that, was not necessarily the old flame, and then you make it more. You make the fire more heated. So it's not, in the best interest that, when, you are angry, it's the best time for you to probably keep yourself quiet. And just now I was saying, tantir, mantir. Keep the mind quiet and keep the body quiet. Vachanatira, and the words also must be sweet. So, because you keep igniting these flames within, and when you ignite those flames, because this is within you yourself, what happens? You turn your whole interior into like an ash. And these ash, affects your whole system. So the anger causes those kind of outcomes that destroys you, physically. And, it may lead to that, you could get ill, or sickness can happen, because of anger, or worries, or things that, that get you vexed easily. And why we vexing? We vexing for something that one day we have to leave anyway. We vexing because we're going to leave that somehow or the other one day, when we leave this world. Because we vexing for things that we get attached to, attachments. As one. And then secondly, it could be that, that of wealth. And then we vexing because we didn't get our share. We think we are entitled to more. So everybody, this is a very sensitive topic. It is very broad. I might not be able to cover much, but in my little time today, I will try to best to, give you, according to Sadhguru Kabir Saheb, his message on anger. So like I was saying, friendship, and we like plenty of friends, and so this could be a downfall, because in one little moment, or one little argument, all the friendship comes. So not even that is the answer for you to say, well, to quell anger. It is said that, to overcome anger, you have to get into, like satsangs, be amongst the sadhus and saintly ones who can help quell the anger within you. And so then, you become one you can relate to. Within satsang, something is where this kind of, let me say, treatment for this type of, I would say, medicine that is, that you ingest, that helps you to overcome anger. So today I will read some of the Sakis of Sadhguru Kabir Saheb on anger. बोलिए सदगुरु कबीर साहिब की जय। क्रोध अग्नि घर घर बरे, जलय सकल संसार। दीन लीन निज भक्त जो, तिनके निकट उबार। So this Saki is saying, Crowd, which means vex, Agni is fire, Ghar Ghar Bari, households or every home is on fire. Because we tend not to agree with each other on many things. And no one could do something to please another in this world when you really examine it carefully. One will always think that it could have been done better. So that is, what is disturbing. It's a challenge for us that the one who is doing it, he is feeling hurt because others are complaining that it could have done better. But the one who is doing it, he's the one at least doing something. He's the one who should have, been blessed and, and praised. But he's not the one who is being blessed and praised. He's the one being talked about. He's the one who is, the observer is never satisfied. So they say this fire is in the home of everyone. It is in the minds of all of us. So, we may have differences in opinion. We may think differently. The product might not be as everyone wants it. But how are you going to please anyone, even in the household? Governments and things that have it even more difficult. They have to do things to please everyone. Okay, and along the way, while pleasing, some might be affected. So, sorry. So we must, try to relate to each other in a good spirit and good mind, in a loving way, not in a angry or angrily way. Because why? The opposite of angry is peace. So it's all about getting peace or attaining peace. This peaceful way of doing things. Jalai Sakal Sansar. In this whole world is like that. Everybody is caught with this fire. Dina Lina Nija Bhaktiju. But those who, those who are very humble and simple, those are in the company of the spiritual one or spiritual guidance. Those are the ones who can save you from getting angry. We can get angry for every single little thing. Sometimes some might be angry and no one knows what or why they're angry. We keep, with this in our thoughts, in our words, and our deeds. So no one should get angry. Everyone should have their thought, words, and deeds put aside for, in a spiritual way, for that spiritual journey. And if you keep yourself in the company of the humble and simple ones, you yourself will become like that. Just now I was saying about friendship. Your friend, show me your friend, and I can tell who you are. कोटि कर्म लागे रहे, एक क्रोध कीला, किया कराया सब गया, जब आया अहंकार, जब आया अहंकार. So इसे कोटि कर्म लागे रहे. Anger that's caused anger, millions of karma to create. Anger is just the beginning. No? Anger is the hidden. And under anger, you could have greed, you could have attachment, you could have jealousy, you could have so many things created by anger. You could have hatred, you could have many things. Anger is that such a broad piece to describe anger. एक क्रोध कीलार, किया कराया सब गया, अब आया अहंकार. Anger could destroy, your whole progression in life. Anger has this, this disastrous outcome that even in the home, there could never be peace or there can never be righteousness. But those who, attend and satsangs, they say, and be in the presence of the sadhus and saintly ones, there is where the rescue is for us. There is where you go and you rescue yourself. Because so many ills will happen, can happen in one day that, can we, we ever, I don't know if any of us ever count how many times did we get angry per day? Or, because it is, things in this world are measurable, we are accustomed, measuring things. You can measure things. And from the physical, what are physical, we can measure it. So it's how many, how much anger do we have at the end of the day? And we taking the same, anger self to go and, recite prayers. Recite prayers and feel, that just a few minutes you might have some peace, and then we go back again. We start to go back angry again. So anger gives you that break or that disconnect with the Supreme Lord. In the physical sense, anger may make you, even make you disconnect with your own family. So, any form of anger destroys all devotion. So on the day of prayers and thing, at least on that day, to have a start, no one should do anything to try to get another one angry for any reason. Because that will destroy all your worship. It will destroy, all that you try to accomplish, because prayers is in that vein where we perform. We're not asking for reward, but we're asking for protection and guidance. Jagat Mahid ho khagana ahang krod arukan peri pahucha mari aisa jam kajan. So he said, Jagat Mahid Hoka Ghana. We cause anger amongst ourselves. Why? Because if we have anger and we got out it in its early stage, it does not spread. So if it is in the mental state, and we out that, it will not travel to become a word. And then from the word, it would not travel to lead to violence or death. So it's about, alternate before it's spread. Because we are only human, it is expected that at some point in time, we will get vexed. But how you manage this vexation is important. How we manage it, how we can out it before it goes too far and out of reach. Because it is extended to where? It says here, Ahang Krod Arukal. The Lord of Death, he wants that recurring with us all the time. We love when that happens. Because this is how this world is set up for us. To make us divided, to disagree, even to agree to disagree. So there is this, cause that is happening. That we don't want it to something, of anger to get out of reach or out of control. Because when this happens, it destroys whatever you set yourself to be, your practice in this world. It destroys that. It destroys your progression. No one must, think ill about another. No one must, try to harm another. Not even in your word, not even in your mind, your word and your deed. Because anger is look for support, Anger looks for support in this way. You know, someone might vex with someone because of a disagreement on certain things, or sometimes it could be they vex because they were violent. You know, they were violence that caused, you know, something to happen. And once that, you know, this thing started to happen, now that, you know, people try to support each other with this. Sometimes you're not even, no one knows what transaction took place or what happened, you know. But you just support one because you're my friend. So what happens? You support this, you know, with, you know, blindly, and you allow this thing to go far and out of reach, out of control. And when this happens, how are you going to fix that? Because you know, I just put it simply that someone, you know, we drink poison for something that we not aware of what we do because of friendship to someone. But if you allow it to remain singly, one on one, and it didn't allow to spread further than that, further, what happens? That easy to out, we could fix that. But when it gets, you know, extended, how are you going to fix that? It happens in families, it happens in workplaces, wherever we are. Spiritually, it even happens, you know, in that journey to look to, you know, differences of opinion and differences of thoughts, you know, flows, and it could lead to this, you know, these kind of anger, because, you know, everyone thinks they have the answer for this. So we must be guided properly. We must, you know, we must, as I say, attend all our satsangs and so as much as you can, all the prayers, because it is within there are this cure for, well, as I say, the 5 negative things like calm, crude, mud, lobe, irkha, right? The cures for those negatives that, you know, that disturbs or decreases our progression in life, our journey. So to overcome those, we need to spread something that can destroy. As I say, it is the support that extends something and make it, you know, make something, you know, that we won't be able to control. So leave it single. You know, they say when there are many heads, it helps to think out something or put together something. But to really get the true essence of that, it must have one head. Sadhguru Kabir Sahib say, एक जानी एक ही समझ, एक ही के गुण गाओ, एक निरख एक परख, एक ही सौ चितलाए. एक जानी, no want. It must have one head in something. Anytime there is more than one head, you setting up yourself for destruction. Because, like I said, no two persons think alike. It happens, but very rarely. It's not something that you will always agree on. There is no way that that it is set up like that. The whole system is set up. Carl Niranjan, the Lord of this world, he set it up in such a way that we were born to disagree with each other. Because he wanted this infighting to be his trademark. So when we are within this infighting, we lose our focus and we are not in that path to, to spirituality. See, he just, he will give you that little break to make you feel, well, okay, you are in union with God, But as soon as you finish the union there, it come like we will go to the, we are accustomed like going to the ashram, but while we in the ashram, we are very spiritual. As soon as we step we foot out of the ashram, things change. It becomes different. So this is the challenge that we are faced with, that we must, be able to destroy spreading wrongdoing. No one should support wrong. And what is this wrong I'm speaking about? This wrong is when you do things, support something blindly. When you just support, as I say, because you feel that by supporting this, whenever you're in difficulty, your friend going to support you too. But it don't always happen like that. The spiritual journey does not have, it does not have deviation. You don't can deviate and step out of line and then going to come back in quickly. In the devotional line, what happens? Every time you break, you might have to start back from the beginning. You climb the cycle again. That this is a test for all of us. Because you come like someone gonna say, well, how this person now start and this person already in standard 5. Okay, so I just want to read back the Saki again. It says, Jagat Mahi Dhoka Ghana Ahang Krod Arukal. Kal, the Lord of time, or the Lord of depth, have us in this way. So our time will run out on us because everything is governed with time in this creation, and one day it will end. So when we struggling with all the negatives, like when we get in vexed or so screwed, what happens? The time pass and we will fight up with that, and we didn't end this. We didn't end the karma itself also. So crude is something that it is also entangled in the cycle of your karma, where if you was in disagreement with someone, or and because of vexation or so, you have to come back, settle that. It's not that you are being bypassed, that you have to come back, you fall in that same cycle. That is how strong this is. How this anger is settled for us. Daso disa se krodh ki uthi upar bal aag, शीतल संगत साध की कहा ubriye bhag. So say dasai disa se krudaki. Uti uparbal ag. So you say, well, speaking about the number 10 here, there is this, sorry, there is this fire of anger in all of us, in all the direction, in all the places. So, you might be, someone might tell you, well, okay, here might be a little more comfortable for you to go on. You will get away from anger. But sometimes you leave something, that you have regrets because you leave something and you go on into where there's more anger. It says here that Shitala Sangata Sadhaki, that place, that way you can, get rid of this anger is by, by the protection of the sadhu, or the saint and the sages. There is where anger is taken out from you. Taha obriye bhag. In that place, is where your life will become fulfilled, or there will be happiness for you. That will bring happiness for you when you are amongst the sadhus and saintly ones. Yaha jaga koti kataki chagudis lagiya bhitar rahe so jali muye sadhu bare bhag. Say yaha jaga koti kataki, that this whole world is like what? It is like, it is made of wood, and it is there, and when you light wood, what does happen? It will catch fire, and it's very difficult to out. Bhitar rahe so jali bhai. And whoever is resides in it, whoever is there could get burned. But he says that if you go by the sadhu and the saintly one, what happens? You free yourself from that attack on this world. You free yourself from getting into that where you keep burning yourself for nothing. So become, in this world, and to live, peaceful, to follow all, the qualities of spirituality. And then we are challenged with all the negatives that are there, outline all the attachment and attractiveness of this world. We get caught in that, and then we does not know how to hold the fire. Sadhguru Kabir Saheb is telling us, and you can notice all the sakis that I have read so far, there's only one place of rescue, that is to be amongst the sadhus and saintly ones. Gar agar krodha jhal ninda dhu vanta hoi in tino ko pari hu reis sadhu kahave soi. Sadhu kahave soi. So gar agar krodha jal. In expressing our words, after it leave the mind, it comes to as I say, a word. And in expressing our word, words are very penetrative. It can hurt others. If the words that you say, there's sometimes they say something like it spits fire. So you have to be careful with your words, and you must be conscious of yourself, how you by the words, how you're saying it also. Be very selective. Be very selective with your words, because what happens, these words, when you say words, you could hurt someone, as I say. You can say words to back-talk each other, and those kind of things. Words are very, and you can say words of praise. So you have to make your choice with how you use your words, and how you use them. Depends on how you can overcome anger. So Ninda Dhuwan Hoi, that we keep using anger by words or angry words to abuse others. We abuse others with all kind of vices and all kind of stuff that we do. It's about provoking others. We use words that are very prerogative, and it hurt others, and we ourselves, we think it is fun to do that. We think it is something very good to make fun of others. But you're making fun and hurting others is a very serious thing. So wherever we are, our words must not be abusive. We must say our words, very sweet and very humble, very simple. And from the word, it leads to violence, as I say. And we don't want, no one should allow it to go to violence. Everyone should, well, in the first place, no one should have any forms of it, the mental, the word or the deed, the action that follows. But of course, if it is opposite and you are, saying a word to help someone, it is different. Okay, so we are guided by these few sakis of, Sadguru Kabir Saheb, and how, to deter ourselves from getting angry, to make ourselves more wise in this field, where we will, we try our best not to get, have anger for anything. And there's this little piece of writing here that I would like to read. It says, whatever the saint says is for the welfare of others. Honor or dishonor, criticism or praise by others do not deviate or distract them. They rather remain unmoved under all circumstances. They transform bitterness of criticism into their saintly sweetness. And what they give in return, without any distinction, is their true knowledge in their nectarious voice. So it is saying here that the saintly one, or the sadhus, whatever they say, they don't say it for themselves, but they say it to help others, for the welfare of others. They may be criticized, they may be disrespected, they may be, let me say, disturbed by, but yet still they stand firm. They does not deviate from their duty. They will keep going to help others. And they do it how? With their nectarious voice, with their sweet voice. They try to help guide you. If someone happens to say something bad to them or abuses them, they bear it similarly with peaceful and stable mind. Sorry, the word is smilily. So they keep smiling, no matter if someone abuse them or say something bad about them. And so the fire of anger is never able to burn them. It rather extinguishes under the cool effect of their kind hearts. An angry person is compelled to kneel before him and shed tears of repentance. And they in return put their hands on their heads with love and kindness. They bless them for a peaceful life and show them the right path. So Sadhguru Kabir Saheb, stresses how much is the importance or what a role the saintly ones or the sadhus and devotees of that, who follow in that path, what a role they has to play, an important role in helping others so that they can keep out in this fire. Okay, because it's easy to get someone vexed in this world, very easy. And when they get vexed, it is very hard to get them back calm and quiet. And this is a challenge we are faced. Even this morning when we were doing the Guru Mahima, there was this nice Saki that was said here. It is here, just 1 second. So it says here, Jine ke swapanahu proda ur kabahuna hota pravesh madhura vachana ke hi priti yut deta sabahi upadesh. So it says that try your best to, that you live that type of life. Jine ke swapanahu proda ur, that not even your dreams you must get vexed. Kabuhuna hota pravesh, madhura vachana ke hi priti, and your words, you must say so nice words to everyone. So, so dedicated and so humble and simple you must be to prevent anger from happening. And there's one more Saki that I'm going to say here that says, Jake Rakshaka Guru Dhani Sake Kah Kariyor Hari Rute Guru Sharana Hai Guru Rute Nahi Taur. That if Jake Rakshaka Guru Dhani, that if anyone is protected by the Guru, Sake Kah Kariyor, that they remain protected. Hari Rute Guru Sharana Hai, because it says here that if God vexed with you, you still have rescue. Guru Rute Nahi Taur, that you can still be rescued by the Guru. So this Guru has a real big role to play in everybody's life, in all of us, and we must respect and honor the Guru because he's the one who can take away this big negative that we have in our lives, which is anger. Of course, I will single out one for today's purpose for the satsang, so you can better understand about this anger that we all do every day, that we get how we get vexed and why we get vexed, and one way of getting how one can rescue themselves so that they will not get vexed with each other. Okay, Boli Sadhguru Kabir Saheb ki Jai. So before I close, just to remind devotees, this month is the beginning of the new year for the Hindi calendar, and so this month represents the starting of the spring season, and this is the first month in the new Hindu calendar. So we will be perform an arti tomorrow. So all devotees are required to prepare themselves to do an arti for tomorrow. When we begin at around 6:30 and with the Guru reciting of the Sandhya Path, and then we'll have a little discourse on Poornima breath, and then we will perform the arti, and of course we will have bhajan singing from 8. All right, hoping to finish around 9 p.m. Boliye Sadguru Kabir Sahib ki Jai. So let's go ahead. Let's have we do all the closing prayer. Kabir Jana Man Jai Pukariya Dharm Rai Darbar Ansamawasi Hoi Raha Lage na Phasa Hamar Hamari Shanka na Kare Tumhari Dhare na Dhir Satguru ki bal kajahi Kahe Kabir Kabir Kahe Kabir Kabir Charan Bandagi Charan Seva Ajamu Bisar Sahib Kabir ke Bandagi Pahunche Uttare se Shabar Kahe Kabir Suno Dharamdas Charan Bandagi Guru Prakash Gyani Dhyani Naga Nirbani Uthari Pandari Kadarshan Char Sampara Bawanwari Char Guru Vansh Kayalis ki Jai Sakal Hans ke Bandagi Sahib Bandagi Sahib Bandagi Sahib Satna